tonight.
Welcome to the third round of the Corsa Racing League Division 1. Today we are here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, which Hamilton has won a whopping 8 times, and Paris with a lap record of a 1:28.6. So let's see what our drivers can produce in terms of times today. The circuit is 5.8 kilometers long, with 18 turns, 10 to the right and 8 to the left. It has 2 DRS zones. The first is on the exit of turn 5, and the second on the exit of turn 14 after Meggetts and Beckett's. This is one of the tracks with a very high chance of rain, so let's see if the British Spring will provide some unique conditions for us today. I'm Regent, and I will be commentating today, and until the qualifying starts, we will wait in the showroom. Cheers, guys. See you in a bit. So the guys are loading in any second now, so we'll just wait, and then I'll drag you into the qualifying session in about 2 minutes, I think. Right back. So, welcome. I believe now that we're soon going to see the first guys running out here. Okay, everything's up. I'll give you guys, as usual, the best tire. We're going to have the telemetry, we're going to have the lap data, and the full track map. So, let's see today who we have 10 runners today of Danny Boy, New Millennium, Ray, Top Hats, Daniel, Borlemont, Rocco, Lemmet, Dubby, and Honnold. I myself should know nowadays I didn't quit racing, but the Maverick who's usually streaming the Saturday's races He has work, and that comes first. So then I can pick up the torch of streaming the Saturday session. So that's why, Oddish. Otherwise, I would be racing today because this is one of my favorite tracks. So it hurts a little bit that I'm not able to race today. So, if anybody here who watches today have somebody who likes to see this kind of content, just share it up and we get more people in the chat and we can far back and forth with some questions and stuff. It's Saturday, so I got a beer, some water, and some snacks. And this is going to be a good one. So I believe it's going to be, it's not... So for those who don't know, we've now changed in the league that we always have a short qualifying session in the start, no matter how many people join the sessions. Which ultimately means that today we will have a short qualifying, and it fits well since we're only 10 people today. But other days when we're like 20 people will wonder why, but that's why. But anyway, oh, we see Daddy Boy have a bit of a spin here. It's so easy because now it's the start of the qualifying session. People might have warmed up in the time trial, and the track is not rubbered in yet. It's not enough rubber on the track to really make it easy to do these kind of push laps on the first runs here. I think maybe W is going to be the first one who's going to set a time lap here. So let's now look on the top right corner where we see the sector times. What kind of times he sets in the different sectors here. So he comes to the first sector, which is 27.5. We'll remember that to see what kind of a total time he sets. Of course, that's a purple sector, as you can see on the track map, because he's the first one to set it. Nobody has set a time yet. And we see Ray on the mediums, Barlamon on the mediums, Rocco on the mediums, and W on the mediums. Rocco and W has put a fair amount of running in for this session. I think they know that the medium might be the best choice here to start on the mediums, to go over to the softs in the latter stages of the race. But we'll see now what kind of a time Honnold is able to set here. He misses his apexes, and it's a horrible Maggots and Beckets for him. He misses every apex. But let's see. The second sector split at 103.5, I think I saw. Don't correct me. Oh, a 127.7 from Ray. On the medium, that is quite the lap. And already here in qualifying, we've beaten the in-race lap time of Sergio Perez on the 128.6. But it's going to be a different story when we get into the race here. So, Honnold sets a 127.4 on the softs, upping 0.3 of Ray's, and New Millennium sets a 128 flat. And then Barlamon splits the top two with a 127.5 on the medium. So that's a very strong lap from Barlamon, as we see a W with a 127 flat on a set of medium tires. That is one hell of a lap from our friend from the east here. He has really put in a strong lap there with a 127, but I think maybe even W is going to aim for the 26s. X Davis says, Honnold easy fall and Rocco second. Wow, good job, Honnold. Yeah, very good lap from Honnold. But I think Honnold wants to go quicker since he's on the softer tire than W. Like, he is on the softer tire and W's on the set of mediums here. Next, we see Rocco on a 127.6 on the set of mediums. I do believe that he's, how I know Rocco is that he's not going to be happy with that. And he's going to want to improve. Let's see, what other changes do we see here? Okay, Raises in the pits. Lemmet has put in a 128 flat on the set of mediums, which is a very strong lap as well for him. Fellow Norwegian in the paddock, so to speak. So, I don't know if any of you guys watched testing these past 3 days. Oddish or Davis. But the Red Bull is looking strong together with the Ferrari. The Mercs looks like they have a bit of a struggle this year. So, it will be interesting to see next weekend when the first official F1 race goes away. You watched some? Yeah. I watched almost everything. I missed 2 hours today. Other than that, I watched everything. Analyzed the lap times. Yeah. Magnussen did a very respectable time yesterday in the Haas. But that was a 1:33.2 that Magnussen did yesterday. And if you looked at the likes of Verstappen today, he did a 1:31.9, I think. So, no, yeah, so it's almost 2 seconds quicker than the Haas yesterday. So, I think maybe the Haas, I don't think the pecking order has changed massively, but I think we're going to see a change in, like, I think maybe Mercedes is going to pull down the order a bit, because that car has been looking unstable all week long. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Oddish, it's a good point. Oddish says it's faster than Nikita's quality time last year. Yeah, but that's not a, let's be honest though, Nikita was not the quickest around. Speaking of Nikita and the Haas's, here's Top Hats coming in the second sector split with a 104 flat. I believe that it is in the range of the 127s, but it's on the higher spectrum because remember we saw a 139 or something or 8 from Honnold, and he's a 127.4. So unless Top Hats really gains a lot of time in the final sector here, he is going to be in the high 27s. And it looks like it's going to be in the high 27.7. He has gotten a faster final sector. He has a purple sector, so he really made up a lot of time there. So if you only ace the middle bit of the sector 1 and sector 2, and he's going to go up the order as well. And I believe Arnold, Top Hats is within reach of Arnold's time on the softs. Arnold gonna win, and Rock will be second, and they'll be last. 200 IQs, Davis. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Dubby is looking hella strong here, because I'm gonna bet my money that the win is gonna be Dubby. I think the pole is gonna be Rocco, and I think the surprise of the race might be a Lemmet. I think. I don't know about you guys, but that's my prediction. So we have a yellow. Oh yeah, of course it's Top Hats who has the slowdown lap, and that's why. But let's see here though. I think Ray is on a flyer right now. Yeah, it looks like he is. And what is he using deployment? Yeah, he is. So this is a flyer. So let's see what kind of a time he's able to set her in the first sector split. So his original time is a 127.7. So let's see here what kind of a time difference he gets in the first sector here. So he improves. I'm pretty sure he's going to be improving by 2/10 here, which means that he's in the 27.5s, already P3 territory, and that's only in the first sector. And as the qualifying goes to a halt here and the lap goes on, I am very confident that he's going to be improving more than only that, than only those 2/10. So let's see what kind of a time we get here, and let's see if it's really here the part of the lap where you can make a lot of time between Meggetts and Beckett here. If we really ace these apexes here. Ray hits the first, really hits the second one, and he gets a great exit off that corner of Meggetts and Beckett's, and he's got a 103.4. He is 4/10 up on his all time. He is in the vicinity of the P2 spot of Honnold right now, and it all comes down to these last turns in the final sector here. He really aces that corner as well. This is looking like a very strong lap from Ray here, as he is now going to come across the line. And this, I believe this is going to be a very low 127. And I think it's going to be, yeah, 127.167. A very nice lap from Ray. And the purple final sector to give him the P2 spot provisionally. But there's still 8 minutes left, and there's a lot of other cars out on track here. So let's see what kind of... So Barlamon is in the second sector there. And I believe Lemmet is on a flyer in the first. Daniel is in the flyer. He's matched his first sector. So actually, let's watch Barlamon here. He is up by, it says he's up by 7/10. And that it puts him in the vicinity of the 126s here. But look, he did that P4 time on the set of mediums. He is now on the set of softs. So let's see here. Arnold will beat it, says Davis. Yeah, well, let's see. Time will tell, my man. Arnold is very quick here in the one lap pace. And let's see. Barlamon with a 126.6. A P1. Provisional P1. That is a very strong time. And I think Dubby needs to, unless Dubby really wants to start on the mediums, we will see Dubby here. Yeah, let's see here. He is on a set of softs now. And I believe maybe Rock, he's in the pits. So let's watch Lemmet. I believe Lemmet has invalidated, unfortunately. And Daniel also invalidated and was unable to improve on his time. Arnold now comes through Meggetts and Beckett. He's a bit up on his time, and he has lost it on the exit of Meggetts and Beckett. And he is lucky there to maybe keep the car running. Yeah, he is. That's very lucky for him. Let's see what kind of a line W takes to Meggetts and Beckett's now. Let's see his sector split as he comes back here. Hope Ray doesn't get in the way of W here. Doesn't look like it. And oh my god, W is on a 102.8. He is 6 tenths up on his all time. He's already in a 126 force. He is almost an entire sector left here. Let's see what kind of a time can he go as far as down as a 125s this session. That would be incredible if that's gonna happen. Well, let's see here. He's running across the line, and it's a 126.3. What a lap from W. And that has solidified his position, I think. As we see Danny Boy here, I do think, yeah, Danny Boy is on a proper push lap here. I believe Daniel is on a lemon on an in lap. Yeah, I think so. Unless it's a bug. Yeah, he's on an in lap. Looks like. Let's see who else is on a flyer. Rocco is on his out lap, so we'll watch his lap in a bit. I think actually it is Lemma who is the guy pushing right now. Lemma and Danny Boy. So we'll watch. No, Lemma did I say? Sorry, Daniel and Danny Boy. We will watch Danny Boy here as he goes into the second sector of Meggetts and Beckett's. All about the Apex series we said earlier, and his second sector split is a 1:34, so he is up by 3 tenths on his time, which is a 1:29.9, but that 1:29.9 might have been a mistake at the end of the lap. But he is invalidated right there. I did miss that. That is so unfortunate for him. That is so unfortunate. Let's see Daniel's second sector split here, because he has done a 128 flat on the, and I believe this is a fresh set of softs. So let's see. Hunter will beat it. X Davis says no. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. I did see. And Daniel invalidates again. That means we're gonna follow Rocco now, as he now has already. He's up by 3 tenths on his time on the set of softs there, which is expected, as the previous lap he was doing was on the mediums. So the question is, how close will he be to his teammate of W? It seems like W, from what I hear, the rumors say, always the rumors, that W and Rocco has practiced quite a lot this weekend, and then by the looks of it, Toe has Barlamon. So we'll see. It's still a bit left in the here, and he is 6 tenths up on his previous times, which puts him in a 26.9 territory probably when he comes across the line here. Let's see what kind of a time he's able to gain here in the final sector of the lap. I think it's a bit of a okay lap from Rocco here. They've put in a lot of time. W is in a league of his own right now, and Rocco is doing a 126.8, and that is 4 tenths behind W, 2 tenths behind Balderman. Let's see if Rocco is gonna go for another one. I am unsure. Let's see here. He is pushing, so he's going straight at it for another one. Let's quickly look at Top Hats here, because he is in the second sector here, and New Millennium is right behind him. So the second sector split for Top Hats on a set of mediums is a 4-5, and he's running on the grass, and he's 4 tenths up. I have a feeling this is not going to be a great lap from Top Hats, unfortunately. Let's look at New Millennium though. He's in the same vicinity that he is on a set of mediums, but does he really think he can beat his 127.9 with a set of mediums? This time will tell. Let's see here what kind of a time he sets when he comes across the line here. I have no idea, because we have had no reference points on his lap from now on. But he does a 127.9. He missed out by a tiny amount. That is so unfortunate. Rocco has aborted his lap, as he probably has had a bit of an issue under... yeah, he's had a bit of an issue. I think... I'm so sorry. I do think Top Hats maybe has... I do think Top Hats has... Is he going for another one here? It looks... Oh, but his fuel light is flashing though. But he might don't need that fuel, because the session's soon over. Let's see though what kind of a time he sets here. So we are running up on the second sector split here. Ooh, he runs wide there. Does not invalidate, but that have to have cost him some time there of the lap. Invalidates there. Oh, that is not one. And New Millennium has also invalidated. Lemmet is the other one on a flyer here. So his previous is a 128 flat on the set of mediums here. Let's see what kind of a second sector split he will have after Maggots and Beckett's. Why no race regions is Duffy? Well, the guy who usually streams the race, and he's at work. So then, since I'm the one of the guys aboard and streaming, then I draw the short straw of needing to sit this one out. And I probably will be sitting this one, maybe this and next one out because of that. So yeah, it sucks, my man. Sucks, Duffy. This is one of the most fun tracks for me as well, so I really didn't want to sit this one out. But it's more important that we get this thing streamed for everyone than one more racer. That's how I feel about it. So, is Borlemont and W on another fly here? They are. So those are there on the position there. I'm going to see where Honnold is here. He's in the Maggots and Beckett's, and he has matched his previous time here. And Honnold still hooks it up very well. Oh, he runs on the grass there, almost losing the car, and gets an invalidation there. That is not the kind of a final lap Honnold did want. So I'm going to see here. Lemmet has him. Daniel is the next one here. And Daniel is up by 4/10 here. He is in the vicinity of the P5 position here, Daniel, if he really aces the final sector. Static Alpine Goats. Well, yeah. They are performing they are gonna get some good points for the team constructors because they're a show for every race. So it's unfortunate for New Millennium, who's my teammate, who is gonna need to fly the ship alone today. Daniel, though, with a 127.2, improves a lot to get the P5 position, as we expected him to do. As we see Ray, he is also up on his time. Barlamon, I do not believe... Yeah, Barlamon is a bit behind on his time. I think W is actually up on his time, and W has finished, so he does not get another time. What kind of a time is Barlamon going to set her in the final sector? His previous is a 126.6, and it's a 126.7, so he's unable to improve. Ray, though, on the other hand, I think will be able to improve along maybe with Danny Boy has unfortunately invalidated. Lemmet has improved on his time, so he's going to be running up the order as well. Let's see where Ray will finish here. Vision is the best streamer and commentator this week. Yes. Thanks, Adam. Really appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I'll keep trying to make it better for you guys to watch here. As we see Ray running across the line for the P4 position, as Adam kind of made me lose my magic here, because he provided me with a compliment. Completely threw me off guard here, Adam. Thanks. Well, so Adam, who do you think will win today? And Static. I do wonder because W has been quick, and this is the rundown. In the front row, we got W and Barlamon. W with a 126.3, an insane lap. And then we have the second row with Rocco and Lemmet, who squeezed out that P4 position in the final moments of qualifying. Then we have Ray, Daniel, Honnold, Top Hats, New Millennium, and Danny Boy, who unfortunately had a lot of quick laps, but invalidated his laps, which is why he's so far behind on the timesheets. We will see. Ray, go. I would be in pole. Well, Static, why aren't you here? Yeah, it's a rapid time from W. It's absolutely insane. Oh, I see some pop-ups here. I'm going to quickly do this for you guys. So you don't need to see that anymore. I'm so sorry about this. There we go. Oh. We are now loading into the next session, which is the race. And I have no idea if it's going to rain in the race, because it was a dry quali, but it might be Static, no, and Honnold first and W last. Yeah, let's see. W is quick. Because every time a safety car is on my wheel breaks. Oh, let's not hope that happens for you again, Static. That is... I remember that from the last time I commentated on New Man, and that broke my heart. Because you were quick, and then the wheel... It's always bad when you have put in a lot of practice, and then your hardware is the thing that fails you. It's so typical. You put in all the practice, put in the laps, put in the time, and then everything goes to shit because of your wheel. And I think a lot of people here, right, got to go see you. Well, see you, Static. Thanks for showing up. Or stopping by. Well, so we are now on the formation lap, and this is the predicted strategy here of a soft to medium, which I think is the right one. Do not think we're going to see a soft to hard. That would be very weird if we're going to see that. Now I'm going to put the tires up here so you can see what kind of a time, as we see in the formation lap. W leads the pack, and I am also a bit curious about, because as I said earlier, we do not know if this is a full dry. If any of you guys who's racing and does have the time, say if there's going to be rain in the session or not, I would really appreciate that, because we do not know anything about. Oddish, no tire wear very low on Silverstone, so most likely soft medium. Yeah, I agree, Oddish. Completely agree. It's going to be a soft medium, 100%. Unless we're going to see a safety car. In that case, it's going to maybe be a soft hard or a soft medium soft, I think. Because the soft is pretty durable around here. Yeah, completely agree. Well, let's see here. It's hard for me because I'm solo commentating today. I'm gonna try my best to get all the action that I can. Oh, there's a spin of Rocco on the formation lap. Hey! First of the day. Oh, and reset the track. There's a bit of a gray area, isn't it? We'll see. Okay, let's see here. Ray, who is going to be the last car to line up on the grid, or is it going to be... Gotta be Danny Boy, yeah, of course. But I think I might run along with Rocco for the start. In third person, because that means I can look... Yeah. Get scary when soft from 30% though. Megaton Beckett though, I speak from experience. Yeah, Adam. Gross shot hit him. I completely agree. Let's tell that to Rocco after, Adam. One light. So we're going, yeah, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. And it seems like Dubby and Rocco got an amazing start off the line here. And I'm going to go a bit on the backside here. This seems to go okay here in the first corner. There's a lot of guys, and actually the order's been very well. New Millennium has a bit of a struggle there in the start. Barlow goes a bit wide, running into Lemme, as we can see ahead. As we see Daniel getting squeezed to the outside by Ray here in the first lap. Lemme and Barlamon are side by side, as both of the Mercedes are getting ahead of the pack, already 5/10 ahead. Barlamon and Lemme want to keep that gap they want to keep that within the 1 second here. As we see Ray is trying to do an audacious move on the outside of Arnold here, and Arnold firmly shuts the door on him. Ray is going to though maybe come back at him here into Corpse corner, and he thinks the better of it. Actually, Arnold has to lift her a little bit, and I think maybe Ray has actually made a move work. Yeah, Arnold ran a bit wide there, and that made Ray been able to get up to the P6 position. Already some good racing here at the start. As you see, the pack in front of W, Rocco, actually are now almost outside of a second of the guys ahead. And I think Dobby and Rocco are going to work together here to get out of the DRS range of Barlamon here to really solidify. Because let's be honest, Barlamon and Rocco, Barlamon and Dobby do have the best pace around here. But Barlamon is able to maybe keep that gap under a second, but it's going to be hard, as Dubby and Rocco surely are going to be working together here. As we see Danny Boy here, he just made it past the Haas of Top Hats. And a New Millennium, I think, had a bit of an issue, and he is in the pits, maybe for a bit of a wing change. Unfortunate for New Millennium, my teammate, that he needed, that was the start he got. But anyway, we're going to run along here with Arnold for a little bit, because he is only 3/10 behind Ray here. And Ray is really gaining on Daniel in the P5 position here. And Rocco, I don't think Rocco's going to be making a move here. Barlamon has further decreased that gap between himself and Rocco to keep him within the DRS range here. Ray thinks about a move on Daniel there, as we saw into the corpse corner, but I think he thought the better of it, and nobody is going to be able to make a very good move in Meggetts and Beckett's here. You just want to set yourself up for the exit here, and maybe Ray here is going to get a bit of a dirty air, but he is able to keep a bit of the momentum, and you can see he's gaining on Daniel here on the straight. But Daniel is probably using a bit of his deployment as well to defend here, and I do not think Ray is going to be able to make the move at this particular occasion. But we'll see as we see who's going to run out of ERS the first here, because I do not know how much ERS these guys are using. I'm not going to show it on stream for obvious reasons, but the guys who are able to maintain most, because Silverstone is such a high-speed track, you are using a lot of ERS to try to keep up or overtake here, and you really isn't a lot of time where you can really recover much. So you kind of want to save your energy for the final stages of the race, where people maybe already is below 10%, and you see the light flashing, as you see it in some locations here. As we see, Ray now has gotten the DRS, and so with Barlamon have on Rocco, and Ray does make the move on the inside here, even though Daniel, he is hanging on the outside, but he has to yield as Ray is in the better position, and Ray firmly shuts the door on the inside there. But Daniel is actually he's basically pushing Ray now, and he is coming back at Ray into Cobb's corner. It's going to be a hell of a task to go on the outside here, but Ray, though, is actually being a bit compromised here on the inside line, which means that Daniel is getting closer. Daniel now needs to try to ace these exits here to really get the benefit of the DRS on the exit here. Oh, he's getting a lot of dirty air from Ray in front here, but he got the DRS, and this is a massive advantage here on the straight here. And Daniel is going on the outside, but Arnold as well has joined the fight here. But Daniel, I think maybe Daniel is able to get ahead of Ray here. No, they're side by side still, and also Arnold was thinking about a move on the inside of Daniel here. Ray is actually able to hold off the pounds of Daniel from the rear here. So we're still gonna go here, and all this time these guys are fighting, are bringing Arnold and Danny Boy, and Daniel is losing the rear there and has spun out when it was looking so good for Daniel, and he was probably getting the dirty air of Ray there and gets spun out. Well, luckily it's only a spin and he's not out, but still this means now that the likes of Danny and Arnold are gonna be chasing down Ray here. Arnold is breathing with DRS down his neck here, and it's gonna be really hard for Ray here to keep him behind during the DRS zone after Meggetts and Beckett's, after turn 14 here. We'll see that Rocco and Dubby are basically, yeah, they're just a train here going after each other, but at some point you gotta think that maybe Dubby is gonna be needing some sort of a change of pace here, because he's actually holding up Rocco at this point, which is pushing Rocco back into Barlamon, who is now really close to this lead pack. As we see, Arnold is now going to have the DRS on Ray, and look at the difference in speed down this straight. I don't think Ray has any chance of defending this, and Arnold is way ahead of the corner. Ray, though, is carrying some momentum because he does not need to compromise his line. And is he thinking about a move on the inside? He thinks the better of it. He'd rather want to stay behind, save a bit of energy, and use the DRS to keep up with Arnold, who seems to have the better pace right out of Ray. Danny Boy, though, is now catching up to Ray as well. And Ray is going to be looking at his rear wing here, as we see Danny Boy is actually starting to push him as well. And instead of Ray only needing to focus on making the moves happen ahead, he's going to need to look at the rear wing of himself as well. As we see Dubby and Rocco as well have changed places, and Barlamon as well as is really caught up to that front pack. And I'm going to look a bit here with the guys. I don't think Arnold and Ray, I don't think Ray were any danger of Danny Boy down that straight. Danny Boy was a bit too far back, but Danny Boy might have a chance down the second GRS straight here. And Barlamon as well here. He just want to set himself up for a great move after the Meggetts and Beckett's here. But Dubby and Rocco is producing a lot of dirty air for Barlamon, and it's hard for him to even keep up with these guys. And Dubby and Rocco are just DRS training each other, exchanging places, it seems. Well, let's see. Barlaman is not able to make the move happen here. And I do believe Ray is going to be almost being able to make a move on Honnold here. But the DRS that Ray has on Honnold makes the move for Danny Boy that much harder. It's the legendary DRS train around this track of Silverstone. And further down, we have Top Hats in P8. We have Daniel, who did the spin, and New Millennium, who did have to pit early for a front wing change. It's actually very close here in the top 10. Only the 10 we got here today. It's very close. So see, I believe Honnold, he is... You can see here, there's a bit of two groups here. It's the Lemmet, Balderman, W, and Rocco ahead. And then we have the Honnold, Ray, and Danny Boy, and Top Hats, who by every lap is getting closer to the pack of Honnold and Ray and Danny Boy. Danny Boy gets the first penalty of the session, it seems. That is not good, because this track is... There will be probably maybe a few more penalties for other drivers, but most of these guys, they've practiced a lot. They put in the time, and they really do make that many mistakes. As I said, that Daniel as well gets a penalty, and Millennium. I'm just gonna stop jinxing the guys. It's the commentator curse, I guess. As we see Barloman now, he's getting very close to W ahead here. And as well as Ray on Honnold is getting very close here, as well as W and Rocco are changing places. Maybe now W has a lot of DRS saved up and he's going to pull them along. But every time they need to juggle these positions, it's going to put Barlaman and Lemmet in the vicinity here. And look at these guys. They're so tight here in the front. And this is going to be a fight to the very end, I think. And W sets a 1:29.7. So we're only 1 second off Paris' lap record in the race here from last season. So, Ray here is still able to keep within Honnold. Honnold has not been able to break this DRS train. And unless some of these guys makes a mistake, I have a feeling it's going to be very hard to do an overtake. You will see what I mean right now. I'm going to show you this for the guys who don't know this. Because when the car ahead has a bit of a better pace than the guys from behind, as Honnold now, Ray gets DRS, but so does Danny Boy, which means that Danny Boy is not going to be able to overtake Ray because he gets the DRS on Honnold. But as you see, Honnold he's able to get edge to head as he makes a bit of a mistake into that corner right there. But usually he is able to keep them behind here. And you can see now is really the only time I think Ray is really close to Honnold here. So we will see if this gonna get any better for him out of Megas and Beckett on this occasion. I'm gonna quickly run along front to the front group here, as these guys are coming out of Megas and Beckett and into the DRS zone, and these guys are gonna have the exact same problem. Everybody gets the DRS except for the guy in front, and nobody is able to do any overtakes at all. Yeah, you can see that they were not able to do that. And Ray is now very close to Honnold, and is maybe gonna do a move on the inside here. He dives it on the inside, but is Honnold on the outside is able to keep the position, gets a lot of more traction here. And now Danny Boy is going on the outside of Ray, as now Ray's offense is turning to defense. And he is on the inside line there, Danny, down the straight here. And it's very hard to keep the car on the inside down the start-finish straight. As we see, actually, Ray now is gonna be able to defend just about. It's not a lot, but he has been able to defend from Danny, and the order stands as it is. Or as it has been for the last few laps. Whew, guys, this is going... It's never ending this, huh? It's good racing. What do you guys think so far? Any comments in the chat here? Is it looking very good for my prediction with Dubby? Had X Davis with the Honnold one is looking a bit grimmer. Or X Davis, yeah, sorry. We're gonna see here now though that Ray is there. It's still the same here. Oh, as Danny Boy goes very wide there into the corpse corner. As we see Barlaman now, Barlaman is really close to Rocco. Rocco has probably had a bit of a troublesome middle part of the track there, so we'll see right now what kind of a fence he's able to make. Barlaman is not able to make the move happen right now. And give me 1 second, I need to get myself a drink of water, so I'll leave you with Barlaman, who is likely to have the most interesting view right now. Be right back. So, I've returned. Seems like it doesn't have changed. Nothing has changed very much. Solomon is still in the DRS train behind Dobby and Rocco. It's a very high level because at this point, the pace is already almost maxed out. And now it's a battle of consistency between these guys. Because you can see now Barlamon is, everybody's within like a second. So first guy to make a mistake here is the guy who's going to lose out of these guys and who is going to be falling down the order. So it will be interesting to see here if Lemmet and Barlamon are going to be able to even pass Rocco and W at all. Okay, I'll see here. How many guys are we watching today? We're only 5 viewers now. It's dropped off a bit, but that's fine. People are probably watching something else today. It is obviously a Saturday, so people most likely are out. As we see, actually, oh my god! Arnold gets pushed wide by Ray into the brake marker there. And I'm unsure if Ray shoved him off or what, but I am not sure what happened there. I just saw it in the corner of my eye. But it seemed like Arnold almost spun there and got put into the gravel trap where if you remember, that Verstappen got pushed into by Sebastian Vettel when he missed his braking point on Silverstone. So, Danny Boy though is the first one to pit. So he might be doing a very good undercut here. Because although I think maybe he's going to be losing a bit of time because I think the softs are going to be able to go for a good 12 laps here. We will see. We'll see where he feeds out after the guys ahead here goes for the pit stops here. And I think Arnold is going to want to go past Ray here after the little incident there. And that and Ray now, crucially as we talked about earlier, he does not have the DRS anymore. So actually Ray did get past Arnold at some point. I did miss that. But now I think Ray is going to be struggling to keep Arnold behind. Maybe not this particular occasion. We'll see how the straight line speed of Arnold's setup is. But I think maybe, oh, we saw Ray's light flashing there. He's down at 10%. That is a crucial difference. And they're both going into the pits here. So, we'll see here. That means they get some time to recharge. Let's see how Danny Boy is going to feed out to this now. Because Danny Boy did pit earlier. And you got to remember the Silverstone pit. It is so long. It is so long. You got to go all the way in and all the way down and up the hill. And it's almost an entire sector with waiting for the car to just speed up. Let's see now. I think the guys just arrived at the pit boxes. And now they're running out of them. They're down now. Let's see what kind of difference Danny Boy is going to get here. The guys have not yet gone to the... Danny Boy has done a very... It seems like Danny Boy has done a good undercut here. Yeah, yes, he's undercut Arnold. Not Ray, though. But he has undercut Arnold. That is a session gain from Danny Boy by pitting a lap early. But he is going to have a bit of a problem with the tires in the latter stages. Or they will fall off quicker than the likes of Ray's and Arnold. Well, we'll see. Then we have the likes of Barlamon here. We did have a bit of a problem there as we saw Rocco briefly disconnect, but he reconnected. Then we have Lemmet, who is chasing Barlamon down here. I do think Lemmet is just waiting his time, saving the... If I were Lemmet and Barlamon here, I would let W and Rocco just spend their DRS trying to edge out of the DRS here, because W and Rocco needs to change in front. They're going to be using a lot of deployment to be able to keep ahead in the DRS zones. I do believe that Barlamon and Lemmet Barlamon might be a bit lower than Lemmet, because Barlamon might have tried to do a couple of moves on Rocco. Lemmet on the other hand, I think, has just been very stone cold, waiting behind for whatever that needs to happen. And then we have the likes of Top Hats, who are now in the pits, so he's going to get past. He was in P5, but he was a pit stop behind. But he's going to be the first of the... He's also going to do a bit of an undercut here, and I do believe maybe these guys I do not think they're gonna be in the likes that they're gonna undercut the likes of Rocco and Balderman and Lemmet of such, but I think maybe it depends now if this lead group here is now gonna be pitting or not. As we see Danny Boy, I think he's gonna make a move on Ray here. He is on the outside and he is already past there at the corner. He just turns in and Ray does need to yield. As I see Ray now is battling Arnold, who wants to get past as well. Arnold, though, is not able to go past Ray at this particular occasion, but he thinks about making a move on the outside here. And they are weaving down the straight here, and they are not able to make a move. Danny Boy gets compromised. Ray gets a good exit. Danny Boy is out of deployment, and I think that's going to mean that there's going to be a lot of stuff happening down the straight now. And Arnold is looking like he's going to be able to get a great exit off here of Ray, and this might be a double overtake here for, I think Danny Boy is going to get left a bit in the dust here of these two guys. But Danny Boy goes defensive, and he is not. I don't think even Ray is able to go past Danny Boy. That's brilliant defending from Danny Boy to keep these guys ahead. But every time these guys are fighting, it's hurting their undercut on the likes of W and Rocco and stuff like that. But I do not think they're going to be able to get that gap. As we see a brilliant move on Arnold, on Ray there in the middle of the final quarter. That's a great move from Arnold. And Danny Boy, the light is flashing, so I believe Danny Boy is a bit of a sitting duck here. But look at that gap. If these guys had not done a lot of fighting, they could possibly have been in the range of the likes of Balderman in front. So every time these guys are fighting, they're losing crucial time. But look at Rocco and Lemmet. These guys are still out. And I believe maybe we're going to see Arnold make a very easy move there past Danny Boy. And Ray is out of the race. He has spun. And I can barely see it in the rear there. Ray, it's looking like Ray has retired. Looks very much like Ray has retired on track, which is highly legal. And that is unfortunate for Ray. That is such an unfortunate. Ray was doing so well, and it seems like he maybe lost it in the final stages there of the final parts of the first sector. That is so unfortunate for Ray. He was doing very well. So I am amazed at the guys ahead right now as Rocco and Lemmet. They're still out on their softs. I would for sure think that Rocco and Lemmet would be pitting by now. Because look at the difference that W was like 28 to 29 seconds or something. They've lost 3 seconds to W and Balderman at this point. And I do not know why, but this is going to put Arnold... I'm sorry. I have completely misread the deltas for you guys, but Arnold is now going to be very much soon, if this continues with the guys in front of the softs, in the range of these guys and when they came out of the pits. And Lemmet as well has gone past Rock with this occasion. So I think maybe these two guys are going to be pitting now. Yeah. I believe these guys are going to be hurting a lot. And Lemmet did a great move there with the GRS to get ahead of Rocco on that final straight. W, he's been able now to push out of Balderman to GRS zone. So Balderman now really is struggling, and I don't think Balderman is going to be able to get within the GRS of W right now. But I do not believe that Rocco and Lemmet are going to come out ahead of Balderman either. The question is if Rocco and Lemmet is even going to come out ahead of Arnold and Danny. The two Williams guys are racing. I think the two Williams now are going to be working together to maybe try to catch up the pack ahead here. Because W sets a 128.69, and I believe that is just shy of the track record of Sergio Perez here. And Rocco is coming out. Oh, okay. Rocco's been able to keep those softs very well. What the? This is such an advantage for Rocco. He has been able to run those softs and only lose about, as I said, 3 seconds to W. But that difference might be very huge when we come on to the final stages of this race here. I do not know why Rocco's car is grayed out. Might mean that he is disconnected. If that's the case, that is so unfortunate for Rocco. But watch that. He's actually falling into the grips of the likes of Arnold now. Maybe Rocco will reconnect, but as of now, I think Rocco actually have disconnected. That is so unfortunate. But now the race is in a bit more stable state. We have the gaps between like Danny Boy and Arnold. 3 seconds. 5 seconds between Rocco and then Rocco. He is back. He has lost a bit of time. And that is very unfortunate for Rocco. As we see, there's actually 7 viewers around here now. As we have 1 DNF. So that means that there's only 9 people left on track right now. Hopefully, these guys make it to the end. And the reason why the Delta has disappeared, if you guys wondered, is because Rocco just rejoined the session. So as these guys are running across the line, we are going to get the new Deltas. Rocco lost 2 seconds almost to Lemmet with that disconnect. He was 1.3 behind Lemmet. Now he's 2.9. So, Arnold has been able to catch up with Rocco. He's only 4.6 seconds behind Rocco now, but he is on 4 lap older mediums. Danny Boy is on 5 lap older mediums. Daniel is on 9 lap older mediums, so he's going to really struggle if he's going to bring this set to the end. But maybe we should do a rundown of the penalties. So, W, Barlow, Lemon, and Rocco has no penalties. Then we have Arnold with 3 seconds. Danny Boy with 6. Daniel with 9. Top Hats with 3. And New Millennium with 3. And those are the penalties. Everybody's done it once. Episode of Millennium has done a 2-stop because he needed to do a wing change. Oh, sorry. At the start of the race. Daniel and Top Hats, though, are maybe in for a bit of a dueling here. Daniel is going to be struggling the 9 lap old mediums. So I think maybe Daniel is going to get Top Hats up his chuff soon. I'm allowed to say that. I just think Top Hats now is just biding his time, waiting for him to. He's going to be waiting to make the move on the start finish. No, not on the start finish straight. On the end of Meggets and Beckets, and on the exit of turn 14, which is here, where he can pop up in his DRS and probably make the move at the end of the straight. Daniel is weaving a lot. He is going defensive. Will he be able to keep it? Oh, and there's contact. Danny Boy. No, Top Hats and Daniel both are able to continue. I am unsure if any of them have any damage. But that was not as clean as move as I think they would like. And we'll see what kind of Daniel. I can't see any visible damage on Daniel's car. And I cannot. Let's see here. Let's look at the front wing of this Haas. I think it was a bit too quick. It looks okay. Does not look like they got any damage in either of them. But I do believe Daniel is going to be wanting some revenge for that move. Ooh, he almost loses it right there, but he saves it. He's going to have DRS down the straight, though, as he opens the flap now. And I don't think he's going to be able to make the move in this particular occasion, but I do believe he's going to maybe be able to make a move down the straight after turn 14. We will just have to see, I guess. So let's see now. Daniel is very close to Top Hats too here, and these two are glued together, and these guys are the only guys close enough to really do a fight, as Daniel maybe are thinking already with a move into the Meggets and Beckets, but he is smart and backs out of it. And you just want to set yourself up here, and look at Top Hats here. Yeah, Daniel has set himself up perfectly for a move here, and I do not see Top Hats being able to defend this move from Daniel. And Top Hats is not able to save that position, and P7 is now back in the hands of Daniel. But Daniel has 12 seconds worth of penalties. Top Hats has 3. So, at this point, he's halfway back to Millennium with those penalties. But they still want to race on track. These guys are racers, so I believe they want it on track, all of them. As we see now that Rocco is really struggling here because he is. Look at that delta. Rocco had a delta of a 1.3 when he came out of the pits. He got a disconnect, but he is not able to keep he's not able to decrease that 3-second gap to Lemmet. Lemmet is flying on those set of tires. But Lemmet at this rate might be able to make a move on Barlow at this stage. And as the race is dying out and the tires are getting worse on Barlow and W, Lemmet is going to have 2 laps worth of tires, which is very crucial at the end stages of a Grand Prix. And Daniel he has now broken free of the DRS of Top Hat. So as it looks now, Top Hat is not going to be able to keep within the DRS of Daniel. So that means that Daniel now is free to push on. And we have Arnold, who is actually edged out a 4.1 second gap. Make that 3 on Danny Boy, which means that I don't think he's going to be able to make a move. The only thing that's interesting now is a limit, like in terms of the top 5 here now, because Lemmet now, he has, as I said, the fresher tires, and I do not see a cloud on the sky, so I don't think we're going to see a weather change anytime soon. And Lemmet is now within the DRS of Barlamon. Barlamon does not have DRS on Dubby. Barlamon is lost. I do believe maybe Barlamon has done a mistake because he was only 1.5 seconds or something behind Dubby. And now he's lost an entire second, so I think maybe Barlamon has done a bit of a mistake. And it is, as I said, this is a race about the consistency around here. So we'll see now. I don't think Lemmet is going to be able to make a move at this particular occasion, but he might be able to make a move in the next zone. Dubby, on the other hand, is far ahead. He's loving this. He's been able to build a gap, and he just needs to maintain the gap now. He can save. He can just maintain that 2.5 seconds. Lemmet gets a bit of an oversteer moment there, which loses him the gap of the DRS zone to Barlamon. Lucky to not lose the car entirely there, and Lemmet now has lost 2/10 here to Barlamon. Let's see if he's going to be able to make that time back here. I don't believe he is, and that means that Barlamon crucially is not within the DRS of Barlamon crucially now. Barlamon actually was able to keep him behind for now, and every lap that Barlamon is able to do this is joy for him, because further this race is going, the more the race is going to go in the terms of Lemmet. But as well as I think that, remember that they were able to keep a very good pace on 13 to 12 lap old mediums, all of these guys. And there's only 6 laps left, 7, let's say 7, which means that those mediums are really not going to fall off, because they're fine, and 13 lap old mediums are fine around here. They're going to be still as quick as they were at 6 laps probably. So I do believe that Lemmet here, he wants to really get this move done quick as possible. And when he gets the move on Barlamon, which he might does, it's not a guarantee, of course. Barlamon just wants to save a bit of energy for the final stages and use the DRS of Lemmet to recharge himself for the final laps probably, so he can maybe have an answer. Now I do think Lemmet is going to be within the DRS zone of Barlamon here. Barlamon is not able... Oh, looks like Barlamon is a bit stronger in the first sector than Lemmet, but Lemmet really aced... Oh, he did not. He did not ace that sector very well and got a poor exit. But I think crucially, yes, he has the DRS. You can clearly see on the delta running down there on that straight, and I believe maybe Lemmet now he's going to be able to maybe make a move or challenge for a move down the straight after the turn 14 of Meggets and Beckets. We've seen it's been the case all day. It's like Meggets and Beckets, and then there's a move, and there's the DRS. So let's see if Lemmet is able to, every 10th now that Lemmet can get before the DRS zone, it's going to help him massively on the straight here. But let's see what kind of a delta he's able to set, or time he's able to keep. He keeps a lot of momentum, but he loses a bit of time to there. He is crucially going to open the wing now, as we see. And I do believe that he's not going to be making the move. And as long as he doesn't make the mistake he did last... Oh, there's a bit of a spin, I think. I did miss that. And it looks like there was a bit of contact between Top Hats and Daniel there, which made Daniel lose it, but I'm unsure. I just lost that, and I'm so sorry. And let's move back to the front runners here of Lemmet, who is... He's getting closer, ever closer, and I believe now, every time, for every DRS zone here, he just gains and gains and gains on Barlamon. And Barlamon is probably being He needs to just keep looking ahead to keep that speed up and not be too focused about Lemmet in the rear view mirror, because Lemmet is going to gain on him on every straight anyway. So everything Barman can do now is really just to ace the corners without the DRS and really gain that advantage back. Because you look now, Lemmet was 7/10 down to 5, and look now, Dirty Air up to 7/10, and Barman is doing a great job of producing Dirty Air, acing the corners, keeping himself ahead. This time as well, if Lemmet's not going to be any closer, he's not going to be able to make a move on this particular straight either. Let us see though, because Lemmet now has 7 point, let's see, so 7/10 at this point, 7 point, or almost 8/10. Let's see what kind of a delta he's going to have at the end of this straight here. So it's going down rapidly. He's getting a hell of a slipstream from Ballerman. Ballerman doesn't even try to break it, and he gains about 4/10 there. But look now, he has now reached the Dirty Air. He's now up to 5/10, and I believe he's going to be running up to 6/10 as we go through these corners here. There we have it, 6.5/10. So, at this point, Barman is doing a great job, and for Lemmet to really make a move, Lemmet needs to really save up a lot of energy and use it all on that one. He needs to save it and use it all for one try at getting past. Really give it all to get that move done, or to rattle Barlamon's cage, because it is, as it is now, Barlamon seems to have settled in a very good rhythm. He does not make mistakes, keeps the Dirty Air flowing back to Lemmet, and Lemmet is, as you can see, is not able to make a move even with a DRS. So Barlamon setup is probably a very good low downforce setup with a lot of straight line speed. And every time this happens, Lemmet is not being able to get ahead of Barlamon. Brings Rocco ever closer. Look at this. Rocco is now 1.8 seconds 1.8 seconds from Lemmet. He was 3. So every time that this thing's happened, Barlamon is costing Lemmet time. And look now, he's only 5/10 behind. This is maybe the only chance that Lemmet is going to have to get it moved on. And Lemmet, he is thinking about it. It's letting him know, I'm on the inside. I'm here. I want to get this move done. Lemmet is now he's basically pushing Barlamon around this final sector. But this is going to cost Lemmet a lot of time, because it's getting a lot of Dirty Air. And look at that, from 2/10 to 7/10 in one corner. Losing time. Rocco getting ever closer. So this is the battle. I believe Dubby has sealed his win here, but this is going to be a tasty 3-way for the final podium spots here, I think, at the dying stage here. I am unsure how much ERS Rocco has left in the tank, because he might have been needing to using a lot of it to even catch these guys up. But look at this. Barlamon is now almost edging ahead of Lemmet in the corners. He was at 8/10 there at the end of the straight with the DRS. And I do not think... I do think that Lemmet has used a lot of deployment to get where he is, and he is now starting to maybe run out of it. I am not completely sure. We can run alongside with the Rocco and see if we can spot the charging of the battery lights that is in the rear of these cars, to see if we can spot if he is recharging at all. And I cannot see a light there. I do believe that Lemmet is saving up a bit of energy. I do not think he's deploying, but I don't think he's necessarily below 10%. I think Lemmet is maybe he's figured out what I said, that he's going to need it at the end. But look at this. Lemmet is falling out of the DRS window of Barman here. That is dangerous, because that probably going to promote Rocco to be able to make a move. As you see, Lemmet did a purple final sector here. And Lemmet really needs to get that DRS to defend himself from Rocco, who is now getting dangerously close here. And there's only 3 laps left now of this. 2 laps now left of the race. W is way ahead. Puppets and Daniel have kind of split up. Danny Boy is 30 seconds behind Arnold. And I do believe that from P5 to P9, and that order I think is set in stone, unless there's some obvious mistakes that's going to happen. The interesting thing I want to know is if Lemmet is going to be able to make this move on Barlamon or not. This got to be so frustrating for the likes of Lemmet, because he knows he's got the pace and he's catching up to Bormann, but that dirty air in the corners where maybe Lemmet's setup is maybe lacking a bit. Oh, and as I said, mistakes. Arnold has done a mistake, maybe spun, and he is now behind his teammate of Danny Boy. So that is unfortunate for Arnold. I do not believe Arnold's getting the DRS either. He does not. So that means that Danny Boy now is the P5 position. Maybe Arnold will get the move on after a bit, as we see Lemmet do the fastest lap of the race. So Lemmet, that just solidifies my point of Lemmet being the quickest guy on track. But the dirty air is just so annoying, which is what the to do a big segment over to the to the official world of F1 here is the real purpose of the new regulations that we're going to be seeing this year in the 2022 season. Be able to, I think it's going to like to decrease the downforce loss behind another car by like 40% or something, like 70. Like it's only going to be 40% the loss of downforce as it was last year, I think. So it's going to be much easier to follow. But as we can see here, even in this game, that the dirty air has a massive. It's massive for the other guys. Oh, Barlomon's light is flashing now. Barlomon, this is the final lap, and Barlomon has used all his deployment here to defend from Lemmet. Will it be enough though? Lemmet, this is your chance. This is your P2 position here, and he's going to do a ambitious move on the inside here. He's able to actually keep it on the inside. Barlomon keeps it on there. Goes defensive. Will Lemmet do the switchback here? Lemmet goes one, goes twice, but I do not think he's going to be able to make the move. A good effort from Lemmet to make that happen, but it solidifies as P2 and P3 and W with a brilliant P1, dominating all the way from quali, from first lap to last lap. W has been on point together with Rocco. Unfortunate for Rocco. I think Rocco could have been higher up here today if it had not been for that disconnect. That is so unfortunate for him. We'll just wait here as we see Top Hats and Daniel, who's going to do their final bit into the laps here. These two guys have been fighting a lot as well. And a brilliant from the Williams with a 5-6. Good points. 10 and 8. That's 18 points for the Williams team there today. And then my rough mat for W25 was Rocco's 12. Is about a 37 for the Mercedes team. Good points for Baltimore. Good points for Lemmet. And that is the race. That was a bit of a hectic start where they were close. There was DRS trains all the way through the first stint. Driver of the day is Danny Boy, as we watch here. Danny Boy has a tendency to start in the back and make his way front. So I am gonna now give you the rundown here. We have W with the P1 top step. I'm gonna take a screenshot. And then we have Barlamon on the second step. And then we have Lemmet on P3. Rocco unfortunately had a disconnect, which I think that in the end what made the difference between P4 and a podium position, maybe all the way up to P2, who knows. Then we have Arnold, he was able to overtake Danny Boy again after he had a bit of a spin in Cobb's corner. Then we have Top Hat and Daniel, who fought all the way through, who are on the edge, almost on the end there. Then we have a New Millennium, who unfortunately did have a bit of a he had an incident in the first corners, losing him his front wing, which did mean that he had to do an extra pit stop. But he was able to snag the fastest lap of the race point at the end there. Then we have Ray, who unfortunately DNF'd after having a great battle with Danny Boy and Arnold for the P5 to P7 position. And that is it. And while we wait for the guys potentially doing some interviews, I am gonna keep you guys in the showroom, and then I will get back to you as soon as we see if there's any interviewees able to join us. So I'll be right back, guys. Well, for the first time in ever, I think everybody is quite tired. Nobody wanted an interview and some screen time on Twitch. So I guess that is gonna be it for this stream. I'm gonna, as always, say we do have if you guys want to join, we have a lot of openings now in Division 1 and Division 2. If you guys want to race on a Saturday and Sundays, these are the times that we've done it today, that we will do it, which is usually 5 GMT or 5 PM GMT. Then we have a Discord, which you can join, which is in the description, I believe, of this Twitch channel. And yeah, who won a no player? Dubby won ahead of Ballamon, and then we had Lemmet, and then Rocco, and Honald, and Danny Boy, and yeah, so that's the order. Yeah, I know, player, I'm sorry that you missed it, but I'm gonna do the outro as well. So you get the outro, I know, player, the beautiful outro. You can join the Discord, as I said, in the description. And also in our Discord, we have a link if you want to support. As you all know, the terrible things happening in Ukraine right now is of the Russian invasion. If you want to support the Ukrainian troops, there is a link in the Discord as well if you want to give some to that cause as well. So I've been Regent. This has been a great stream. I think personally it was a great stream, a good racing, and a good finish. So with that, I'll say good night. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Don't drink too much. Have a nice one. Bye, guys.